Let's do this one real quick. Is it Tracy?
Yeah.
How you doing, Tracy?
Okay.
Do you have a question for us?
I do. When we take the Bible, if you take it all the way back,
All the way back
I'm
to
talking
where?
about all the way back before there was time. Did you know, have you ever thought about creationists and evolutionists agree on one thing?
First of all, I don't agree with your premise that you can take it back to before there was time.
Okay. Well, there was a singularity when they said that there was a point in time where there was nothing. That's what evolutionists said. You go back in time to a point where there was absolutely no molecules, no nothing, and all of a sudden there was a bang.
No. First of all, evolution relates to biology. It only deals with what happens to life after it forms. It has nothing to do with cosmology or the universe or abiogenesis or anything like that. So evolution, evolution has nothing to say on that. However, what you're saying about going back to a time when there was nothing, while we don't know exactly how the universe started, the prevalent theories don't say there wasn't anything. As a matter of fact, the first law of thermodynamics is that matter and energy can't be created or destroyed. They can only change form. So that would dictate that the universe has always existed in some form. Now,
can you give me a lowdown on the Big Bang Theory then? What is the Big Bang Theory in your mind?
That's kind of what I was just doing. Basically, if you trace back, and the Big Bang has been confirmed, it's as much of a confirmed theory / fact as anything else you'll find. The cosmic background microwave radiation, which was predicted by the Big Bang Theory, has been measured, and it matches dot for dot. But 14.5 billion years ago or so, the math, we can't get back past the Planck time, which is a very tiny unit of time between the actual moment of the explosion, of the singularity, or the beginning of the expansion of the singularity. So we can't trace back any farther than that. So anything further back is speculation right now.
I got you. I see your point. Okay.
Now, physicists, and Tracy pointed this out the other day, physicists will often say that time began with the Big Bang.
Yes, that's what they're talking about. That's the way I understood it from my school. Yeah.
What they're talking about is that time, in the sense of how
the way Hawking says it is that because we can't talk about anything prior to the point of expansion, he says you might as well cut those things out of the theory. He's not saying that time didn't exist. He's saying there's really no point talking about it prior to the formation of the current incarnation of the universe. So time it's not that he's saying it didn't exist. He's simply saying it's not important until this universe forms. Because at that point, we have something we can measure. Prior to that, we have nothing we can measure, and so we can't really talk about it. And so let's just say, for the sake of the theory, time starts with our universe. So it's not that he's saying that it actually started with the universe. He's simply saying that's when it becomes relevant to us.
However, since we don't actually know or even have a good theory understanding of the beginning of the current state of our universe, and now that we've cleared up the definitions, what was the actual comment or point that you were going to make?
My point is simply this, and I'm sure you've heard it all before. It just seems to me, an intelligent species such as ourselves, it just seems to me, man, that we had to come from some sort of intelligence, that's all.
Why?
It just seems that some type of a designer or some type of a design said, Big Bang, bang, be there. Because I kind of believe in the Big Bang Theory. I just think that it had a cause. Not just something random and not just a molecule. Something caused that damn thing to go bang. And creation started, evolution started, all at the same time. That's all I'm thinking.
So you basically said two different things that are unrelated, and I want to make sure that we kind of hit both of them real quick. One you said is that you don't think intelligent people could have come from anything other than an intelligent designer.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is, but before we actually get to that, I think the other one may be quicker to address.
All right.
And that is that you believe in the Big Bang, but you think that there must have been some intelligent cause for it. Why do you think it's justifiable to posit a supernatural, transcendent cause rather than just accepting that it could have happened by a natural cause.
Yeah, what's natural, though, man? What made natural? What made nature? I just want to know the why behind the why. That's just how I'm designed.
You're asking the wrong questions. You're asking all the wrong questions, and all of the questions...
Well, maybe I'm talking to the wrong guy about the right questions. Maybe that's it.
Well, if you'd let me finish real quick.
Go ahead, buddy, go ahead.
The reason you're asking the wrong questions is because your questions presume the nature of the answer. It's like saying, why did the universe exist? That's the wrong question. The question is, the universe exists. What is the explanation? By asking what the explanation is, that leaves open any possibility. And it could be that the explanation is some God-type thing created it. Or it could be that it occurred by natural processes that we don't have an understanding of. But when you say why, you imply purpose and design.
I sure do. I sure do, man. Yeah, well, you're right. And I do that on purpose.
That narrows the possibilities of the answers. It narrows the directions in which you can look for answers. So basically, you're assuming the answer and then going looking for it. And when you don't find anything that's satisfying, you feel justified in presuming that your original presumption was correct. And that's not the way science works. That's not the way we learn or understand anything. And if we have no way of investigating and no way of understanding what happened prior to the Big Bang, then it's asinine to speculate about the cause, and it's incredibly asinine to make up, oh, it must have been an intelligence because that's what I'm most comfortable with.
Man, you're not curious about how we got here.
What do you mean?
Man, come on.
What do you mean?
That's a question that the whole human race is asked.
I never said I wasn't curious.
Okay.
I'm just saying that I'm not willing to narrow down the answer to why.
All right, I'll put you on that.
I'm open to any answer. Oh, God. Your mind is at least partially closed because you are narrowing the possible answers to only those that you're most comfortable with. That isn't science, it's not reason, it's not logic, it's not wisdom, it's fantasy. It's comfort. You're seeking the answer that you're most comfortable with. And I'm sorry, but that's not a path to truth. I am interested in where all this comes from, but I can also accept that there may be questions that not only do we not have the answer to them now, we may never have the answer to them. So let's instead focus on answering the questions that we can ask, continue to seek out the explanations as best we can, and not narrow the focus of our examination in such a way that we're making appeals to the supernatural. That's just not the way to go about it.
I see your point. Man, I see your point, sort of. I really do. About 50% of it, I see. But I do keep my open mind. I keep an open mind. So.
Okay. I got no problem with that. I mean, you're right on one level in that we're all interested in the answers to these questions. And I can certainly understand why people would feel more comfortable personalizing something or anthropomorphizing something so that, I mean, it's nice to think that there may be some intelligence out there that's guiding everything or that cares, but there's no evidence to support that that's possible or
the guiding and the caring thing. I do think that somehow or another some type of intelligent design created it.
Okay, and what created that intelligence?
And see, there you go. And that's the same thing. You're right. You can go backwards and backwards and backwards. So I don't know, man.
Because you just did one of the most beautiful, honest things ever, and that was you said the words, I don't know.
Okay.
And that's it. I mean, that doesn't mean you stop looking. You know when you stop looking is when you have an answer. And that's one of my biggest objections to religion, is because religion pretends to offer answers.
All the answers.
That stop investigation.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can I just have a real quick thing? I just wrote to somebody this week, and I said, Matt taught me a magic trick, which I have used a couple times, and whenever I do it, people are just like, you're creeping me out because I don't know how you're doing that. People will say when it gets done, how did you do that? And I'll say, it was the psychic energy. It was magic. You know, it's magic. Well, I have yet to meet one person who is satisfied with that answer, who says to me, oh, okay, I guess it's magic. Well, no, people know that there's got to be a real explanation. Magic is not an explanation. And so when people say, and when people put forward God, really what they're saying is magic. It's just magic. We don't know how it was done. It was like this being that's just, that can do magic.
Yeah,
and it made the universe.
I don't know.
You're trying to answer a mystery with a mystery, and you get nowhere.